I know what it's like. Telling yourself, this is the last time, only to find yourself back in the same place a few days later, feeling disappointed, frustrated, wondering why something so small can feel so difficult to overcome. I've been there. And if you're watching this video, there's a good chance you've been there too. Today, I want to talk about escaping lust, not from the perspective of someone who's perfect, but from the perspective of someone who understands the struggle. Because this battle isn't just about temptation, it's about control. And for a long time, I felt like I was losing that control. The strange thing about lust is that it rarely starts when you're feeling your best. At least for me, it didn't. It usually showed up when I was bored, lonely, stressed, unmotivated, or just looking for an escape from reality. And that's what took me a while to understand. The problem wasn't only the temptation itself. The problem was that I was using it as an escape. Whenever life felt difficult, my brain wanted something easy, something that provided instant gratification. Something that felt good right now, even if I knew I'd regret it later. Maybe you can relate. For me, the cycle always looked the same. First came the urge, then the justification. It's not a big deal. Just this once. I'll quit tomorrow. Then came the action, and finally, the regret. That feeling where you sit there and wonder why you did it again, why you ignored your goals, why you broke another promise to yourself. The worst part wasn't even the mistake itself. The worst part was feeling powerless, feeling like I was losing a fight against my own mind. One thing I learned is that willpower isn't enough. I used to think I just needed to be stronger, more disciplined, more motivated. But motivation disappears. Some days you wake up feeling unstoppable. Other days you don't. If your entire strategy depends on motivation, eventually you're going to lose. What actually helped me was understanding my triggers. I started paying attention. When did the urges happen? What was I feeling before them? And patterns started to appear. For me, boredom was a huge trigger. Late nights were another. Sometimes stress, sometimes loneliness. Once I recognized those patterns, I stopped treating the problem like a mystery. Here's something I had to admit to myself. Nobody was coming to save me. Not a YouTube video, not a motivational quote, not some magical piece of advice. At the end of the day, I had to make the choice, every single time. And that truth was uncomfortable, because it meant I couldn't blame my environment forever. I couldn't blame my circumstances. I couldn't keep saying one day. I had to take responsibility. And that's when things slowly started changing. One mistake I kept making was trying to remove the habit without replacing it. I would tell myself, I'm done. Then I'd sit around doing nothing. And eventually, the urges would return. What I realized is that empty time is dangerous. When your mind has no mission, temptation becomes entertainment. So I started filling my time differently. Working out, learning new skills, reading, creating things, setting goals. Not because those activities magically remove temptation, but because they give your mind something bigger to focus on. I also want to be honest about something. Progress wasn't perfect. There were setbacks. There were moments when I thought I had everything under control, only to fall back into old habits. And every time it happened, I felt like giving up. But eventually I realized something important. Failure doesn't erase progress. One bad decision doesn't undo every good decision you've made. The real mistake isn't falling. The real mistake is convincing yourself that because you fell, you might as well stay down. Growth isn't a straight line. It's messy. It's frustrating. But it's still progress. The more I thought about it, the more I realized this journey isn't really about lust. It's about becoming the kind of person who can control their desires, the kind of person who chooses long-term goals over short-term pleasure, the kind of person who keeps promises to themselves, Because every time you give in to an impulse, you're strengthening that impulse. And every time you resist it, you're strengthening yourself. That's the real battle. Not perfection. Not never making mistakes. Just becoming stronger than you were yesterday. If you're struggling with lust right now, I want you to know something. You're not alone. I've been there. A lot of people have been there. The fact that you're trying to change already means something. But don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start today. Even if it's one small step. Even if you fail again. Keep moving forward. Because every day you fight for control of your mind, you're becoming a stronger version of yourself. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the battle that once controlled you no longer has power over you. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you, consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next.